Hi, Capricorn. What's up, homie? What's going on? Things are starting from the bottom again. Aha, what does that mean? It means that you might have to entry level it. Oh no, Capricorn's like, no, I don't do that. I make things happen. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do entry level anything. When you're starting in a new field, you might. And something that's just a hobby right now might turn into a new field. You might start a second job. You might turn what has been up until now fun into something that in a few years could become extremely profitable. The point is, right now, we start small. And having the magician energy is great because it means the new things you're starting will go very well, as long as you realize that we're starting small. Other than that, the magician is also about someone who's very attractive. You may have the right magic to meet someone in the most unlikely of places. Just normal stuff. 8 of Swords. So, for some of you who feel like someone has been lying to you or showing you one thing and doing another, you may feel very isolated at the end of May, but June brings you relief. From the new moon on the 3rd to the full moon on the 17th, you have a chance to up your love game, bump into someone really steamy that you hit it off with right away, start new business ventures that will turn out very well. As long as you remember that any relationship or business started right now is like raising a very small child. Nothing is going to go the way you think. It will be harder than you think and much more satisfying than you can imagine. So the magician, 8 of Swords, is also someone who knows what they have to do, who knows they have the potential to do it, but they might be a little bit scared. But it doesn't matter because you have the words and the magic to overcome. Also, the magician and the 8 of Swords is about you being able to change someone's state of mind. Someone who right now may feel very upset and very hurt by you, but you're able to bring them back into the fold and get them out of their funk. 10 of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, especially if this person is your legit partner. Things turn around. Why? Because you want them to turn around, because you want to put in the effort, because you want to keep what you have. As soon as Capricorn feels like they might be losing what they have, they start to freak. Bottom of the deck here, the Justice card and the 7 of Pentacles. So especially if you're dealing with a Libra that you feel like you've put a lot of time into stuff with, you want to hold on. And when Capricorn wants something, they have a tendency to get it by putting in enormous amounts of effort. This month, you're making the efforts, and for what? Well, you realize what you've got, what you don't want to lose, and you bring your charm and your luck to it, and you work it out. Now, in other ways, you may feel, especially in terms of new work situations, like I said, that you're starting at entry level at the bottom, and that's okay, because right now it can't be about counting money. It can't be about, I'm actually going to do the entry level thing, so I'm going to move my seat down a little bit. There we go. It can't be about money. It can't. You can't see this new endeavor in terms of how much money is this going to make me, because it's not going to make you any money right now, but it will open the door very quickly to huge opportunities. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Wands and the World card will take it. Huge opportunities. So whatever you're starting right now, Capricorn, whatever you're putting your effort into, whether it's wooing your partner back or being forgiven for a snafu at work, or you're starting your own thing and you're starting really small and you don't know if it'll work, whatever you're putting your intense passion into this month, you're getting great returns. I mean, great returns, especially if you're trying to help somebody else out of their funk. Because in a lot of ways, what you are doing now is finally coming out of your funk. So it makes sense that you'd want to do that for other people. So, Four of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, and Ace of Swords is also about finances. It's about finances turning around. It's about finances getting better and better. The World card is about notoriety. Ace of Wands, opportunities that bring you closer to the limelight. Wheel of Fortune, finances, especially within the couple, getting better and better, but also a chance to become a part of a very successful couple that happens out of nowhere. And in that new situation, you may have to be super humble at first. Not because they don't know how Capricorns are, not because they don't know, you know, what you're about, but because you want to try something different. You want to start off on a new vibe. Like, it's not that what you've been doing isn't working. It's just kind of like, this is taking too long, you know? And Eight of Wands is like not taking too long. That's like when things start to really speed up. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, the World, right after the Eight of Wands, it's like whatever's got you feeling stuck or weird, it's about to change. Hold on. Gotta get the card. Oh, look what it was. So the Tower and the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords and then the Justice card. So Capricorn, if you're dealing with that Libra that you've been through a really hard time with, that's something that starts to clear up, but there is that moment of a big blow up where things need to be said the way they need to be said. Let's keep going. It almost feels like the more opportunities you get, the more people come out of the woodwork trying to like shade you and get you to, you know, get people to say like, oh, I don't even know why this person deserves that. I don't even know why this person is getting chosen for that. So you may find yourself having some huge moments of realization of like who your friends really are and who's really out here supporting you. You know, when you become very successful is when it becomes very easy to tell who claps and who doesn't. But we've talked about that before. What you find with the Tower card here after the World card, okay, let's keep doing this. That I'm talking about that you guys are going to be feeling. Three of Wands in reverse. So when you hit that Tower moment, you may feel like, you know what? I just forget it. I don't want to do anything. I just want to leave here. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to go do my own thing. Don't do that. Don't do that, because it's about losing money and it's about losing face and it's about losing connections, and you just don't want to do it. Towards the end of the month, when you have that moment where you really feel like you need to tell everybody to just go somewhere, don't do it. Actually, I'm going to stop here because we have 12 cards and they're intense, and the whole reading is intense because you have such a buildup. Like, you need to use your charm. You need to use your sexuality. You're like, right, you're ready. You want to do things. You want to start new things. You want to date. There's a lot. And then this like mundane little thing happens somewhere, work related or somewhere where you're like, I never meet people there, or I'm never going to meet people in that. And then it just, the sparks start flying. You start, if you're single, if you're already in something, you get back on the page with the person that thinks that you don't really care about them. You get back on the page with someone who thought maybe you gave up on them, that you weren't interested in them anymore. Or someone that felt very let down by you, that you now start to, right? Apologize to, explain to. You start wooing that person again. You start reaching out to them again. You know, they know what it's about. They know what you want. It's very clear that you're trying to make up for lost time. Maybe that person thought you were working too much. You were gone too much. You weren't interested. However it is, they thought you weren't interested. And now you get to come back with a lot of fervor and strength and say, no, I'm very interested. Will that maybe cause some Tower moments where you have to explain yourself? Sure. But it's better to do that than it is to brush off the whole thing like it wasn't important at all, because we know it's very important to you. So, ooh, it's spicy. Let's look at it. It's spicy and it's an interesting time because you also see the laws playing out, the Capricorn laws. Pluto, Saturn, and Capricorn opposing Cancer. The laws, our laws in the US have become center stage, you know, the topic of conversation around the world. And as soon as the sun moves into Cancer, you're going to see this happen, and it will affect you. It will, because you are on the opposite end. You are the balancing force, right? Y'all make the laws, and Cancer feels the rhythms they create. And now the rhythm and the tempo come into conflict. Syncopated. It's a very interesting time. You stand to create something in June that you cannot imagine how much prosperity will come from it later. Maybe you can already, but because you have to start so small with it, you may not be able to see how huge it will become. And it will, inshallah. There's so much potential. Just be careful of the pitfalls. You know, it's not just you that knows that these really big things are coming up. There will be people here and there who will try to, you know, take jabs at you. Oh, in this particular way, you have to start from the bottom again. Or, oh, in this way, you have to, you know, lessen yourself or something. No, none of it is a lessening of self. It's just a way to begin something new. And it has to be done properly. And so Capricorn knows that the foundation must be sound. And so in this case, the foundation being you starting yourself, whatever it is that you're going to do, you're doing it yourself and you're working your way up from the small. In terms of those looking for a job, that also applies to you. Whatever you get a job in, you will quickly move up the ranks as long as you're okay with getting hired at the entry level. So much good fortune, so much opportunity, and yet you will feel yourself restless. You will feel yourself wanting more until the tower moment. You will feel yourself revving high, getting all the love, giving all the love, getting the things done, starting the new things. And then you'll have that tower moment and go, you know what? Cancer season is starting and I kind of just need a break. Like, you guys do this whole thing that you're doing right now, but I kind of need a little bit of a break. Sorry. And then you take your break and you alchemize in private. Lovely. So good, really. So good. Some points of stagnation, yes. And that's where the reworking comes in, but it's healthy. It's just teaching you new ways to approach your abundance, new ways to hold on to what you have, new ways to further the connections you've already made. And then from the mix of all of this comes, boom, some huge opportunity. Remember, that seems very small, but it's not. Exciting times. I loves it. And I loves you. But you know this. Mwah! Let's look at these cards.
Hello, Capricorn. So, let's look at it with a new eye. This is my Gemini thing that I like to do. Doing the reading, getting the cards, that's one thing. Reading them in the moment is another thing. Being able to look at it astrologically, go back and look at the first part, and then think about it before I do the second part is a big part of what has evolved into the YouTube process. It's unique to the online readings, but I feel that it is the way to do you the best service. So, the Magician. This reading in general is very dual. So at the end, of the first part, I was talking about something that you really want, something that you're reconnecting with. For a lot of you, that might be an aspect of your career. It doesn't have to be a person. For a lot of you, you have to let go of someone so you can make the progress that you've wanted to make. So you can fully step into this magician energy. However, like I said, it's very dual. So this is you and the alchemy that is your natural gift to get to the top. And you are afforded many opportunities to do so in June, starting today. But this can also be you being seen as a liar, a trickster, someone who cannot be trusted, you being found out about the way in which you've hurt someone else. But again, it can be your defeat over feelings of being alone, of the tables turning on your marriage situation, leaving you feeling very dejected, holding on to stuff that isn't good for you, but then quickly, middle of June, right as we approach Cancer season, what happens? Cut. New opportunities. The world is yours. But what does that mean to a Capricorn? That's what this reading is really about. We know the good things are coming, and we know you need to let go of the past before those good things can manifest. And yet, looking forward is very troublesome. Not when you are stuck in the past, but when you swear there is something valuable still there. An earth sign is very hard to get out of the Four of Pentacles energy, because if you swear that what is under your feet and in your hands is gold, you're not going to let up. So the Tower moment, as you can see, becomes necessary. There's only so much good fortune someone can have and use it as a tool against themselves before the whole thing kind of falls apart on you. But obviously it needs to. If the only way out of the Four of Pentacles is the Tower, then you take the Tower. Are there people that get hurt along the way? Sure. But those people have probably been hurt before as well. Are there aspects of you that you have denied that now you pick back up and give your full attention to? Is there a bittersweetness in that? Sure. Of course. Because to pick something up from the past, to go back to something from the past, to revive an old desire, love affair, career, ambition, whatever it is, comes part and parcel with the admission that you at one point put that thing down or could not do that thing. If you are unwilling to admit that at one time you were unable to complete a task, there is no way to healthily go back to it and to actually do it properly the way you want. Now, I know in the Capricorn mind, one doesn't have much to do with the other. I don't have to admit to any sort of failure to make it to the top. I would choose to disagree. Maybe not in the external. You're right, Capricorn. You don't need to. You can just keep pushing. You'll get there. But this is not about the internal, in case you haven't figured that out yet. This is about the internal. Sure, the cards are showing you what's going to happen on the outside, but they're also showing you what's going on with you. And how public that stands to become if you choose not to admit certain, let's not even say flaws, let's not even say missteps, let's not even say inadequacies. Let's just say humanities. Let's just say that unless you can admit to being human and therefore flawed, it is very difficult to now hearken back to the past and learn what could not be learned before because you were too stubborn. And that's not something we talk about a lot with Capricorn, and I'm not sure why. We should probably talk about it in every reading from now until your season. I'm not trying to go in on you, but tough love is really is really the only love with you guys. Sometimes. And in this case, for you to fully go into what you know is your right, what you deserve, what you are capable of, what will bring you great good luck in many, many ways. You see this? In many, many ways. Wonderful communication that heats up. Yes, this air sign becoming even more aggressive. Yes, in many, many ways. But first, there is this wrenching look at where you can be better and what has, not anyone else's opinion, but your own, which is the most searing. Where have you held yourself back? Where have you not been flawless? And how can you fix it now? There's no way to approach that and succeed if you cannot see first or admit even the idea that you may have done something that wasn't quite perfect. And I'm not even being facetious. I really mean it, because you guys are, for the most part, flawless. But do you see what a liability that is? The easiest person to topple, the most delicate, the one that will break the easiest, is a strong person who projects perfection. Because perfection isn't real. And if a strong person puts everything they have behind, this persona of perfection, perfection is really easy to disprove. Let me put it that way. All you need is one little tiny example from somewhere, sometime, and there goes that person's entire glass menagerie. Okay? So, the hardest person, okay, because this is the duality of this reading, so let's do it then. The hardest person to topple, let's talk in the Capricorn terms. Let's do the Machiavellian thing if you want. The hardest person to topple is a strong person. That quality remains the same. Who is completely aware and forthcoming about any inadequacies, any flaws, any missteps, any weaknesses. This is the dirty word I've been trying to avoid, but this is a weakness. And it's making you weak, right? The hardest person to topple is a strong person who is aware and forthcoming about their weaknesses. One, because it makes them relatable and much more loved. But two, because it makes them smarter. Because if you're aware of where the cracks are, you can fill them. And that's what this month is about. And I love getting to the title at the end of the reading. So you're not going to get the title until you get to the end. This is like, the stuff that they put on the walls, putty, to fill the holes in the wall, to make it perfect and smooth again. This is that stuff. That's what we're doing this month. You have the stuff you need to fill the holes in the wall. You got it all in your hands. Ta-da! And you got a real clear picture where the holes are in the wall too. If you open your eyes and look at it. May have to start with the fact that you're wearing glasses that don't let you see any of the holes in the wall. That might be the first hole in the wall. Okay? Silly putty. But when I tell you that there are very few things that come close to the perfection of a Capricorn when they know and are humble to what they don't know, and they just do it right and do it right and do it right, there's very few things in life that come close to the satisfaction of watching a Capricorn do it right. But they're out there. Deepika's one of them, you know. Kitty Cash, my girl, she's another. Just keep it flawless, keeping it cute. Just 24/7, just all the time. Because that's a real person. Right? When you allow yourself the room, this is not allowing you room. Not just for imperfection, but to grow into flawlessness. Flawless is not perfect. Right? Flawless is a vibe. You guys have that flawless vibe. Perfection is that Virgo bag, and you see how anxious they remain. You don't want that mess. And don't let Cancer season pull you into that nonsense. It's not you. When you find yourself this month in this weird Cancerian space of like, oh God, is it me? No, it's not you. It's not you. It's the season. You got a few weeks left of Gemini season, and they really can be used very productively. Communicate with yourself. Communicate with the people you love, with your friends. They want to tell you. They want to help you. They want to help you fix the wall. Because that wall is going to be flawless when you're done. You know, and then you put your map of world domination on it. Boom. Easy. Easy, easy. What? Really? Stop. Really? And how? Just coming to you. Just coming to you. Leo season. Just da-da. Messages of money, messages of luck. You know, next, I don't even know if I should do Cancer season videos. I should just do one video. We'll get through it. P.S. It'll be Leo season soon. Hey, did I already tell you I love you? I think I did. I'll see you in the extended in just a second. I've been saying it at the end of every video, so I'll say it here too, just in case you missed it in every other video that's up already. We will be including from now on the National Suicide Prevention Hotline number. There are people who are waiting all the time. Trained, kind, loving, understanding people with a ready ear to listen to you if you feel like you are not heard, like you are not being heard, or listen to if you feel like you have no one to talk to, if you feel like you have no connections. First, know that that's not true. Know that we love you. You have family in the Rev Fam. If you need it, we're here. We're always hanging out on Instagram. We're always hanging out on Twitter. We're very friendly. The community consists of a lot of readers from all over the country, all over the world. So it's very easy to connect yourself with people near you. But if you feel truly, truly alone and don't have the capacity to reach out to anyone or go to anything or be around anyone, pick up the phone, you call a number, and no questions asked, someone will just listen to you. And sometimes that's all we need. I'm not saying that's what all of us need, but sometimes it's all we need. So just know that we love you. We're looking out for you. We're here for you. And if you need it, please use the resource. We'll start including the domestic violence hotline number as well. And there's a couple more. I'll get on top of that. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. All right. Gemini season guided meditation is up on Vimeo. Extended goes up now. I'll see you there in a second. Bye, Capricorn. Happy summer.